Hello everyone, my name is Brian, but you can call me the Bugler, and today we're going to be talking about how I felt about the Destiny 2 beta and Destiny 2 as a whole so far. What I want to say about this video is that it's going to be opinion-based. If you're not interested in my opinion or anything like that, don't bother watching, it doesn't matter. This is just how I felt about the beta and how I feel about Destiny 2 so far. If nothing else, I can at least use it as a reference point so I can look at how Destiny 2 is when it comes out and compare it to my thoughts on the beta to see if anything has changed. And if we disagree, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to talk to you about how I feel. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to be upset at you because we have a different opinion. I don't want you to be mad at me because we have a different opinion. I want to keep my opinion stuff and my fact stuff separate. When I do skill breakdowns and things like that, I don't want my opinion on the skills to bleed over. Unless a skill is just not working, like terminal velocity was, or the throwing knife, how the damage wasn't changing. Unless I have like a definitive reason for not liking something, which would just be it doesn't work, that's the only time I want my opinion to really bleed into skill breakdowns. Otherwise, I want that just to be straight up facts, straight up numbers. This is what an ability does. This is how it works. Like it or don't, that's up to you. But here, I'm just going to talk about my opinion. So let's get that started. The Destiny 2 beta was, in a word, disappointing to me. For a number of reasons. First of all, let's talk about the good things. The gunplay feels solid. It feels like it did during Destiny 1, which is a good thing. The reason why I played Destiny 1 so much was because the gunplay was just great. I'm a Destiny Day 1 player. I bought the season pass like a jackass, and I spent hours and hours, days and days playing nothing. Like, there was no content. There were no strikes to do, and just all that time replaying the same strikes, the same stuff, and not much has changed for Destiny 1, and that's really what I'm afraid of here. Even though we didn't get a real glimpse into what the game is going to look like in terms of the story, how many strikes there's going to be, how many missions, and what the patrols are going to look like, that kind of stuff. We didn't really get to see that in the beta. We got to see exactly what Bungie thinks of us, exactly what their decision-making process, I guess, is what I'm getting at here. So first off, we have this build that we had released is apparently a very old build, this beta, right? So when I say beta, I really put it in air quotes because what we're getting right now is already out of date for them. So they're not testing the gameplay or anything like that. They said it in an interview that when we were complaining about how long it takes for our skills to recharge here, they said that they already fixed that a long time ago. And when they were asked about the, I don't know what to call it, the rotor, I guess, during the first mission, the homecoming mission, I guess players were dying or complaining about it or something. I don't really know why, but I guess some people saw it as it was difficult. But they said that they didn't even remember that there were 2 rotors in this build that we have because they reduced it to 1 rotor so long ago that he didn't even remember that there were 2 at this point. So it's really just, it frustrates me because this wasn't a beta in terms of like the game play, what we were actually seeing, because they already made all these changes. They already made changes to the skills. They already made changes. They could make changes to the dialogue from here, like the space wizard came from the moon, stuff like that. And we'll never know until the game comes out. That's not what the point of this beta was. The point of the beta was they were looking to get attention for hype, and they were looking to test their servers, which is fine. They're looking to test their servers. That's cool. But, they have Destiny 1 to test their servers if they really wanted to. I don't see why they couldn't test with Destiny 1. I guess the reason is because not as many people are playing Destiny 1 as they would during an open beta for Destiny 2. We all know that Destiny 1 had so many people playing in the open beta that it was breaking records. So I haven't seen any numbers about the Destiny 2 beta yet. I'm sure they're pretty freaking high. So I'm willing to bet that they're going to use that as a bit of a stress test for Destiny 2. To see what the servers can handle, I guess, is probably a good bet so they can get ready for day 1. But the point that I'm getting at with the decision-making and how we're playing an old build and how they already changed all these things is that we're getting a little bit of a look here because we're playing an old build. We're getting a bit of a look into the design decisions that they've made. And these design decisions are just flat out poor. Like, they weren't a good choice. I don't understand how someone played this at Bungie HQ or wherever they were testing it and thought, oh, this is fun. It takes almost a full minute for me to get my grenade charges, or it takes me, I only get one super PvP game if I'm lucky. Most PvP games that I played, I didn't play many because I spent most of my time during the beta testing things. Most PvP games that I played during the beta, I got my super maybe once. If that. Like, a lot of games would just end with one team getting stomped by the other, and it would be done before anyone in the entire game got a super. I want to know, like, who played that and was like, oh yeah, this is so much fun. Like, I love playing Destiny without any superpowers. Like, play Halo if that's what you want to play, because Halo is still fun. It's not my cup of tea. I don't really like Halo that much, but if you're looking for a game with solid gunplay, fun combat, vehicle stuff, big battles, Halo's for you. If you're looking for a game where you can be like space wizard and you have like sweet powers and stuff, more of a role-playing thing, Destiny is for you. And I feel like if they were to make a decision to make this game less of that, that's just a poor decision, and it makes me lose a little bit of faith in Bungie as far as their design decisions come, because when the game launches, if there are similar situations like this, let's say the cooldowns are still poor, like they said that they made them different and they're making changes to how the ammo drops. Some enemies are going to guarantee power ammo and stuff like that. That's great. But what if when the game comes out, we still see like those cooldowns are not good? Like they're a little bit better than they are now, but they're still not great. What if the PvP games are the same, where we don't have, we won't get a super every game or something like that because the games end too quick? That just sucks, and I feel like that's something that might happen, and I'm just trying to be wary of it. And then we have other things that lead me to believe that they haven't learned much. We have now, what just released was the pre-order weapon and the pre-order ghost shell and the emote, I believe is what it was. So if you pre-ordered the game, you get access to the Cold Heart exotic weapon. It's an exotic weapon unlike any other of the game, according to the interview, or the video, I guess, when they released it. Not much an interview. And the only way to get it, it's timed exclusive for pre-orders, is to pre-order. But once I believe it's after December, you'll be able to get it in-game. But if you pre-order it, you get the free exotic. And it wasn't okay during Destiny 1 when they did this crap with the exotic class items and with the Iron Galahorn. I didn't think it was okay. I thought it was flat out dumb. I thought it was ridiculous. As a Destiny Day 1 player, especially as someone who had the season pass, to think that I couldn't get those exotic class items when Taken King came out because I didn't buy the most expensive edition. I didn't pay an extra $20 for their stupid class items. Like, I was pretty pissed off. I was not happy. And they weren't just cosmetic items, like a lot of people say, oh, they're just cosmetic. That's not an excuse. That's not fair. That's crap. I don't accept that. And these people are flat out wrong. They weren't just cosmetic. They also increased how fast it took for the new subclasses to level up, which, as far as I'm concerned, was a very good bonus to have for a new subclass that just came out, to be able to max it out as quickly as possible, especially for the Night Stalker, which is like almost necessary for some high-level content there on out. All these decisions make me not want to put my faith in Bungie, and even though we're working with a pretty different team for the launch of Destiny 2 than we were during the launch of Destiny 1, we're still seeing some of the same exact problems that we were seeing before Destiny 1 came out. We've got this pre-order stuff going on. We've already got content for the Season Pass planned, which I'm sure they have another team working on already before the game's even released. And then we have a beta that's so out of date it almost feels like an alpha, considering that the developers can't even remember design decisions that they've changed between this iteration and the current iteration that they've got now. And although a lot of games now use the term, they say beta, it's really just like a demo before a game comes out. Like the For Honor open beta comes to mind when I think of a game that is literally just a demo for a game before it releases to build hype. This one is so out of date, I don't even know what to consider it. I'm just afraid that we're about to repeat history here, and it's not going to be until Destiny 2, Year 2, that the game is even worth picking up. I just really hope that I'm proven wrong, and I really hope that when Destiny 2 launches, I have it in my hands and I'm playing it, and I'm like, this is the game that I wanted. This is the Destiny that I wanted when I first picked up Destiny, and this is the world that I wanted to be in when Destiny 1 launched. Alright, that's the end of our video. If you're still here, thanks for sticking around. I tried something a little bit different here where I just talked and let out my feelings, and I didn't do too much editing as far as my voice was concerned. I cut out a lot of breathing and a lot of ums. So if you thought I said a lot of ums while I was talking now, prepare to be surprised. I say way more in real life. I want to give an update on the status of the channel. I was planning to release a video on the Arcstrider's skills and breakdown and all that kind of stuff, my analysis, but I didn't have enough time to do the testing required for one of these videos. When I do these testing videos, it takes me hours of testing. During the beta, especially with like the reduced cooldowns and all that kind of stuff, it took me at least 4 or 5 hours of testing. And then once I started the video editing, since I'm fairly new to this, the editing takes a long time for me. As I get better, I noticed that my more recent videos were taking less time to edit because I was getting better at it. But pretty much when I started editing and I was looking at frame data and how much damage things were doing, if I noticed anything weird, I would have to go back to the beta and test things again. This happened with pretty much every single class. The throwing knife comes in mind with the gunslinger. How the Nova Bomb behaved was one where I had to keep going back and retesting. The Striker, the issue with his slam and how the damage wasn't consistent if you use the first slam to activate the terminal velocity perk. So that kind of testing requires a lot of time, and I have to refer back to my source material a lot when I'm doing this. So I wasn't able to do that with the Arcstrider. The beta ended before I could go back and retest some things and make sure that my numbers were right. I don't want to release a video that I'm not 100% positive on the information that I'm releasing, so I feel more comfortable just waiting until the full game releases and doing another just straight-up analysis of the Arcstrider when it comes out. So I don't want to put any false information out there or anything that I just can't feel confident with releasing. So that's the end of that. So let me know in the comments how you feel about this video. If you enjoyed hearing my opinions about things, let me know. I'll put out some more opinion pieces pretty soon concerning the classes, how I felt playing the different classes, what I thought of the Sentinel class is going to be the first video I'm coming out. Spoiler alert, I wasn't so into the Sentinel class. I was actually a little disappointed. And if you disagree with what I said during the video, let me know in the comments so we can have a discussion about it. I'd love to hear from the other side as well. So once again, thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time, and good luck getting through the exclusion zone.